Hi guys, welcome to this video. We're going to have a look at the idea of being able to write a clear plan for your program. Now this will also be really important for your assessment. Now this aspect of the plan can be usually done in one of two ways. We can either write a number of flowcharts that would describe aspects of the program that you need to write, or we can use something called pseudocode. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this practice task that we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. This is the one where you've got the countries and their capitals, and what we want to end up with is a clear plan, a clear description that we could give to a programmer, and they could basically reproduce something pretty similar to this program that we've got on the left hand side of the screen here, either written in something like JavaScript like I've got here, or the plan could also be used for other programming languages. Okay, so what we want to end up with, a clear description of what's happening in the program, okay, on this right hand side, but not in a particular programming language. That's why it's called pseudocode. It's sort of similar to coding, but written in a more generic, general way. Okay, and I think the best way to explain this is to work through this left hand side, doing an example on the right here. Now, as you can see, I'm doing this in Word, and what I've done is I've created, I'll just do this a new one here. Okay, created a blank page. I've changed the layout to landscape, and I've set the margins to narrow, and then I'm going to insert a couple of text boxes. So I just gone to insert text box here, chosen the option to draw a text box, and it doesn't matter if we don't get the size exactly right, we can adjust it later. So something around about that size. Going to just click on the edge there, Control C copy, Control V paste, and I'm going to drag this one to the right here. So you see that's a little bit wide, this original one. So I'm just going to narrow that down a bit and drag that to the left there. Maybe narrow that down a bit. Okay, then what I've done is I've copied the code across from wherever I have my code. For example, I've got this here in Adobe Dreamweaver. So let me just copy across a couple of the parts of the program back to that Word document. Paste that in. Now, as you can see, the text is too spread out, so I'm just going to click inside that text box, go Control A, highlight it all, and then change the paragraph settings to single spacing and 0 before and after, and we just got it a little bit more consolidated there, easier to work with. Now on this right hand side, I'm just going to highlight, Control A, highlight everything, make sure my paragraph settings are also set to 0, 0 before and after, and single spacing. Okay, so since I've already got that done on another document, I'll get rid of this one. Okay, and okay, one of the issues I'm having with Word at the moment is a bit of a bug, and it's taking forever for Word documents to close properly. So I'm just going to pause this recording for a moment. Okay, finally managed to get that Word file closed. Right, so let's start working on the pseudocode. So on the left here I've got console.clear, which is a pretty specific JavaScript piece of code. The equivalent would be, basically what are we trying to do is to clear the screen. So that's what I'm going to put on the right hand side. Now the next thing we've done is to create two arrays, countries and capitals. So I'm going to put create array countries, and I'm going to put equal to or containing, and we want those items. I'll put containing rather than equals. Okay, it's gone over 2 lines, but that's alright. I might just put that. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that from there, and I'm going to use this way of indicating the variable name or the array name. Now I'm going dash dash right arrow, and that produces that. So again, it was dash dash, the key to the right of the 0, and then the right bracket, sorry, not arrow key, which is just to the left of the question mark on the keyboard. So it's like the right bracket, triangle bracket. Okay, and this I'm going to call countries. So that indicates that this is the variable name. Okay, next, pretty similar, create array containing okay, and what's it containing? This stuff here. Try and get most of that copied over, tidy it up. Okay, and once again I want to call this capitals, so dash dash and then that right triangle bracket to get the arrow, and this is going to be called capitals. Alright, so we've done that. Give a line in between, so separating this from the next part. Okay, here we're going to create function, can use the word function even though it's pseudocode, and give it the proper name that we used in the program itself. Okay, so create function print quiz and answers. Don't put the brackets or the curly braces, notice. Now, how do we do this for loop? Well, I'm going to simply say the key part of this is what we wanted to do was we wanted to loop through doing this console.log stuff for each, basically for as many times as there were countries in the countries array. So I'm going to put something like that. So for each country in the countries array, this is what we want to do. I'm not going to put console.log, that's too JavaScript specific. More general thing would be print. And what do we want to print? Well, the text I want to print, I'm still going to put into quotation marks. So the capital of, and then plus, don't worry about the spacing here, the capital of plus country from countries array plus is plus capital from capitals array. Okay, so the capital of the country from the countries array is the capital from the capitals array. Yep, I think that makes sense. What I'd like to do is just want to get this text basically indented a bit. So what that's not working. That's better. So what I want to do is I just want to show what's inside the for loop in an indented way. So let me just put that back to where it was. Now what I might do here is I might use some tabs. So I'm going to use a left tab. I'm going to position that about there. And since I might need a few of these, I'm just going to put 3 left tabs there. Okay, and put the cursor in front of the capital P and press tab on the keyboard once you got that left tabs in place. If I want to get that capitals moving over, I'm actually going to put a space, press space on the keyboard, then press that. That did not work. So I'm getting this sort of setup happening and I'm not happy with that. Okay, that's not working the way I want. Sorry to muck you around here, guys. Okay, doesn't look like I can do too much about that at the moment. What I might do is I might actually put that there, so that will actually look better. Okay, so that will do for now. Okay, moving on to the next function. Okay, so create function take quiz. Okay, here we're setting a variable to, it's called score, setting that to 0. Okay, I think we're just going to write it like that, score equals 0. Try and keep the case the same as what's in the original program. Okay, here we've got another for loop, basically exactly the same, starting off exactly the same as what was up there. So I'm just going to copy that. Let me go put that back to there. Okay, and what we wanted to do here was we wanted to get a response from the user to what is the capital of the corresponding country, but notice that we sent that to the function check response, and the answer was called user answer. So let me put it this way. Prompt user, what is the capital of, plus country from countries array, and we're going to call that user answer. Indent that. Send user okay, so what I've decided to do is, rather than put send response to check response, or because that's actually not exactly what's happening here, is we're getting the prompt here, or getting the response here, and then it goes down to check response. What that sends back becomes user answer. So prompt user is correct, and send to check response. Reply becomes. Okay, so I think that's clear. We're prompting the user what is the capital of, and then the country from the countries array, and we're going to send that to check response. The reply becomes user answer. Okay, next thing we're going to do, still inside the for loop, if user answer is equal to capital from capitals array. Let me put corresponding here. Corresponding means it's just the one that matches up. Okay, so if user answer is equal to corresponding capital from the capitals array, okay, what did we do? We added 10 to the score. So score equals score plus 10. Get the case right, because case is important with JavaScript. Okay, and we then printed well done. That was correct. Now the else part. In fact, I'm going to indent this part here, because that was done as part of the if. You can use indentation to make clear what is happening inside loops and inside if or else parts. Okay, the next thing was we print, and let me just grab some of this to save some typing. Okay, what did we print? Sorry, that was not correct. You wrote plus user answer, and the correct answer is, and this needs to be replaced with corresponding capital from capitals array. I think that's it. Okay, so print, sorry, that was not correct. You wrote the user answer, and the correct answer is corresponding capital from the capital array. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now the last thing we did inside that function was, and this was outside the for loop, so I'm not going to put it indented here. Okay, we basically printed this message. I'll copy that, but tidy it up. Right, so your overall score is, yes, plus score, we can use that, out of, now this is here, what's this doing? This is calculating the number of countries in the countries array. So let me put that. Number of countries in the countries array. That is what we multiplied by 10. Okay, so I think that's it for the pseudocode there. Alright, so what I'd like you guys to have a go at is trying to do something like this, or not something like, have a go at this check response function, and then we'll get you to do some other functions as well with the pseudocode there. Okay, so good luck with that, and I'll be getting you to send me